Welcome everybody to a classic song by the great Billy Squier off his very first solo artist, Tale of the Tape. And I learned something new in researching this. Bruce Kulick played on this album. I didn't know that. I've done Big Beat off of it, and I don't think I ever came across him playing on it. So I found that really interesting, passed that along. Great song here, You Should Be High Love. There's a lot of good songs on there. I was messing around with Calio, and there's a few live videos, especially with this one. It helped me to figure out what they were exactly doing. Jeff Golem, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that, rest in peace, his soul, played this. In one part you could see what he was doing, and that helped me tremendously. So we're in standard tuning. I've written this out. My notes are right below the video. That should help you, and yeah, we'll get into it. So this intro to the song is real nice in the fact that he's using dyads and semi-power chord sense here. We're going to play an E power chord. Then we're going to move it up a step and a half, representing a G chord. All right, we're just going to play the 5th and 4th string. Then we move that up to the 5th fret, and then back to 4. So we have this. That a total of 3 times. So we go from E to G, A, back to G, and then hold in E for a 4 count. We'll do that full sequence 3 times. After the 3rd time, 4 count of A, we go into a D power chord and then a C power chord. So I'm going to go through that. Well, let's just do the whole thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we start basically the chorus. So we do the intro, which is really verse 1. He's singing over that intro, and then we're into the chorus. Now this chorus lick is really, it's a nice, again, play on dyad chords or 2-note chords. So the way the chorus goes, it's basically an E 6 string open, and then we're going to play this E dyad on the 4th and 3rd string at the 9th fret to 7, back to 9. And then we're going to grab on the 3rd and 2nd string a dyad representing a 4th root or D type G chord. All right, D, E, F, G. So we have this. Then we come back to our E, and then the D hammered into E. So that whole sequence from the beginning to that point, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, you'll hear the bass from there on after that first time playing the E. He's doing some riffs, and then they just let the bass do that. But if you want, you can play it. But they don't, okay, as just the first time with the guitar. So we're going to do that a total of 4 times, and after the 4th time we will hold in E. So the 4th time, and then we go back. So that's like holding just the 4 count, and then we go back in. It's another verse, so 3 times through with that, and then another D to C. And then we go to chorus 2. Now chorus 2, the difference is it's twice as long, and after we do that, we just call it E lick, 8 times, we're going to go to a C and then D, which is different in the fact before we're going D down to C. Now we're going to jump to C and then up to D, which is like a segue into a bridge. All right, so we have 8 times through, and then C to D, which I did in that shortened beginning. Sort of sound like this. So that was the second measure of the chorus. Like I said, it's 2 measures long. And then you go to the C and D, and then we are into the bridge. Now for the bridge, what we're doing is playing notes instead of the dyad chords of the chorus. So we're going to go through a set of notes, play a C power chord, D power chord, and then another set of notes. So it'll sound like this. At that point, we go into the solo rhythm. And the solo rhythm is basically the chorus again 8 times. So that's the solo rhythm. But to get there, again, we're doing notes. So we're hitting the open 6th string, and then going 7, 5, 7 on the 5th string. Then we come to the 5th fret of the 4th string with a slight bend. And come back to 7 with some vibrato on the 5th string. Then a hammer on from 5 to 7. Then we go 5, 7, 5, back to a 5 on the 4th string to 7 on the 5th. Then we go our C and D power chords. And we're going to repeat that exact riff, except we're not going C and D. We're just going to keep going with the solo rhythm. So I'm going to do the second half. Let's take it from the C and D and then go into the solo rhythm for a measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's one measure of the solo. So you see how it goes into it. Then we're going to do that another 4 times, just like we did. But when we end, we're going to do E to D to C back to D power chords with a 4 count each. So the last lick into those chords. Start over. That's actually chorus 2. So we've played the chorus as a solo rhythm with a descending and partially ascending chord structure. Then we actually do chorus 2. Now, chorus 2, we're going to do our C to D, so it's 8 times, and then there's a little tag at the end, another C to D, but we're only going to do the lick twice. And then we are into the outro, okay? So the outro, really, there's a couple little nuances that I'll show you, but it's kind of the chorus lick repeated over and over with some other guitars over it. And I imagine Bruce or Billy noodling over that. So I'm going to play you the first 2 measures, and this is pretty consistent through for the noodling guitar. Like I said, the rhythm guitar is just doing... But we have this other guitar doing the notes here, and then we move up to the 12th position and change it just slightly in the sense that we're going to do a couple dyad chords. So let me play it and we'll talk about it. Okay, so you could see the difference here at the 12th fret. So we know this lick. We don't go to C or D. We just do this lick 4 times. Alright, so after that 4th time, we're going to jump up to the 12th position, play it basically once and a half. We'll go 14 on the 4th string to 12, back to 14, and then we'll catch 12 on the 3rd string, slight bend, ending on 14 on the 4th. And then a 12 to 14 hammer. Now we'll do another 14, 12, 14 on the 4th string. I'm sorry. Then we're going to grab on the 5th and 4th string 14 to 12 on the 3rd and 4th string. We're going to do that twice. And then he's going to do a nice little turnaround lick, which is 14 to 12 on the 4th and 3rd string and ending on 14 on the 5th and 4th. It's not a pull-off. So we have this. Okay, so real nice little licks there. We'll go over the solo next. It's very approachable, it's played with a lot of feeling, and we'll go over that next. Solo, all E minor pentatonic here at the 12th fret. First lick, first measure will sound like this. So what we're doing, hitting 15 on the 2nd string, bent up, we catch 12 on the 1st to 15, 12, landing on 14. Then we're going to pre-bend, we stop it, then we pre-bend and hit 14 with a release. So this so far. We come to 12 to 14 twice, the 2nd time a little vibrato on 14 on the 4th string. And then we end it with 2 pull-offs from 14 to 12 on the 3rd string and land on 14 on the 4th. So we have this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, next lick's going to start out kind of similar, but what we're going to do is bend and release 14 to 12. Alright, so we start out the same, bend on 15, then we catch 12 on the 1st string to 15, 12, then 14 with a bend, release, and pull off to 12. Then we're going to come back to 14 on the 3rd string, pulled off to 12, and quickly hit 14 on the 4th string. And then back to 12 on the 3rd to 14 with some vibrato on the 4th. Then hammer on 12 to 14 on the 4th and then 3rd string. And then we go 12 on the 3rd to 2nd string. And then 15 on the 2nd string bent, 1st string bent, and then 12th string. So we have this. So the last measure of the solo, which is, it's almost like 2 licks, but I just fit it into 1 measure so we could get everything on 1 page. What we're going to do is this. It's a real nice flurry of notes. Of course, I haven't practiced this well enough to really play with it. I tend to do my own thing. But anyhow, this is what he's doing. Alright, so it's a nice little flurry of notes with some string skips, if you will. So we're going to go 15 to 12 on the 2nd string to 14 on the 3rd string. And then 12 to 12 on the 2nd to 3rd string, landing on the 4th string at 14. So we have this. back to 12 on the third string, and 14 on the fourth, 12 again on the third, and then 14 pulled off to 12. So this so far, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we jump to the first string, 15 with a bend, and then we hit 12, a little vibrato, and then 15 to 12 on the second string, landing on 14 on the third string to 12. We'll just stop 14 at the third string. All right, so we have this. And then we go 12 on the second to third string, 14 on the fourth string to 12. Back to the third string at 14 with a bend release pull off to 12. And then a bend on the third string at 14, catching 12. Another bend at 14, catching 12 on the second, just like I just mentioned, and then 12 on the first. All right, so from the 15, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, that is the solo, and like I said, you can just play that E minor pentatonic to your heart's content and jam along. I really hope this helps everybody. Tail of the Tape is really a great song, and now new Bruce Kulick in it. A lot of the licks make sense. It's just got his style in there along with Billy's. So hope you enjoy.